Okay, so apparently that was the longest intro ever. So Coach's Show. Finally, we get to do this. Been kicking around this idea for a couple of years. I didn't know for sure if Coach Chambers would be into it. And I got motivated last year when I watched a Quitman podcast. So thank you, Quitman, for the motivation. Coach Chambers, thank you for sitting down and talking Rattler football with us. We really appreciate it.
Excited.
So just wanted to let you guys know the plan for this is basically just to break down games and preview games. So we're gonna break down the previous week's game and sort of just transition right into the next week's game. So obviously this is week 0. We don't have a game that we played last week. So I thought I would ask Coach Chambers about being a first-year head coach last year and some of the success that we had. So just talk about being named the head coach. We talked a little bit before we come on. It was your 5th year. I think that's right.
Yep.
5th year, and you get to be the head coach of the Magazine Rattlers, a place where you played football. So just talk about that.
That's kind of getting into coaching. That's kind of my dream. I wanted to come back to Magazine, and this is where I wanted to be. When Coach Powell left, I really wanted the job, and I thought, I was the right guy for the job to kind of get us back going in the right direction. From the momentum we had with Coach Powell the last couple of years there, and I knew I had a good group coming back that we thought we could win a lot of games with, and it was just a really good opportunity for me.
Talk about being the right guy for the job. We won 9 football games last year. For a first-year guy here, that's a lot of wins. So you're the 5th head coach in our program's history, and previously, the most wins we'd seen was 4. So 9 set the bar pretty high. I think I wrote this down wrong, but we go 9-3 last year. We go 6-1 in conference. We're conference runner-up. We host 2 playoff games, which means we win a playoff game. That is a lot of success, and you want to win those playoff games.
Right.
But to host 2 games, it was a step in the right direction. It was progress from the year before in that aspect. And so I guess really just, how do you come in being a first-year guy and win 9 football games and a conference runner-up and host 2 playoff games?
Part of it was just who I had coming back. I had a lot of, we had, I think, 5 seniors on that team that had played, through 7th grade on, knew the system forwards and backwards. We tried something a little bit different, didn't work, went back to what we was kind of our bread and butter the last, 7 or 8 years, and just hit the ground running from there. Had 0 problems getting kids to practice. That's the key. The kids got to want it, and they wanted it. So that's what happened. We struggled a little bit against Mansfield that week 0 game last year, and I called them out. Said, "Is this what kind of season you want to have, or do you want to be successful like you can be?" And they stepped up from there.
It's one of the reasons why non-conference games are so important. And some kids did step up, I think, and sort of figure out, hey, some of those guys that were here last year are gone.
Right.
So it sort of falls on us. It's going to be the case this year. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But I wanted to, Coach Bo Sykes, he steps off this year. He's a longtime assistant coach here. I know the kids really appreciated him, spoke well of him all the time he was here. And he had a good run here.
Yeah.
And so he leaves, and who takes his spot?
So Dakota Suttles has stepped into the head junior high job. He was a volunteer assistant all year last year as a head baseball coach, and he got the head junior high job this year teaching math for the junior high. And we also brought in Chance Shelby, a Charleston graduate, state champion there. Played with guys like Ty Story. Chance was his number 1 receiver. So he brings in a lot of, maybe not necessarily coaching experience, but he knows
he's a football guy.
He's a football guy. He knows how to win, and he's been really good so far for us. I think the kids really like him.
Good. So we talked a little bit about the guys that are leaving last year and the guys that left the year before that. All those guys leaving, those kids held down positions for several years, and so there's no question that this year's team is going to look different. There's no Caleb Hyatt. There's no Kobe Fawn that people are used to seeing big back lining up in the backfield. But we've got some good kids.
Oh, yeah.
And we've got some good potential. And so just give us a little bit of info about who's going to be where, who's playing what positions, and things we should expect.
Got Terrence Thurman. Started since 7th grade. Started 7th, 8th, 9th for the junior high team, 10th, 11th for the senior high team, and now his 6th year as a senior this year. He's going to anchor our line. Got Trace Nicholas at guard. He played really well for us last year. Really turned it on about week 2, week 3 on, and really played really well for us with their crossbutt game. Yeah. Got Dawson Littleton looking like him, and Jacob Edwards kind of switching in and out at center right now. Dakota Pack, his first year starting. Been with us for forever, but getting his first chance at starting at guard this year, so I think he's really excited. And then got Ethan Roseberry, right tackle.
Glad to see him come back.
First year he's played since 7th grade, and he's been really good for us this summer.
Good.
So we're really excited about him. Backfield, Ashton Dromer's going to lead that. Not at quarterback, but he's going to get the majority of the carries this year. Kind of step into that Kobe Fond role.
Yeah.
Maybe not. He's not a big back or nothing like that, but he's going to get the majority of the carries this year. Cameron Matson, he'll have to step up, play a bigger role. Connor Ryan, same thing. Hayden Littleton started quarterback this year. He's got a good arm. It's something we haven't had in the last couple of years.
Right.
But maybe we get to open it up a little bit. Got some guys that can catch it on the outside, so we'll see how that goes this year.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I remember watching Hayden throw the football a couple of years ago in practice. I know he can throw the ball. I think the big thing is, just step in. Can you lead these guys? It's always an important part of it, and I think he can.
Yeah.
It's just going to be fun to watch and to see. So, all right. So, do we have a diamond in the rough anywhere in there? Anybody you want to mention that we might not be thinking about?
I think might be the key to winning, 3 or 4 games this year. I think it's going to be Ethan Vasquez. The 9th grader playing up last year, so he didn't get a lot of reps just because he was young. He was a young kid, and he wasn't ready to play senior high football, but something he had to do, just sheer numbers wise. But coming in his sophomore year, told me this summer, Coach, I want to start. And he will be. He may not get the first reps of the game, but he's going to be in there a lot, and he may end up getting 2nd, 3rd most carries on the team this year.
Yeah, that's exciting to hear.
Yeah,
motivating.
Yep.
Really the last thing I have is like I said at the start of this, kind of want to preview this next week's game. So we're in week 0. We have a non-conference opponent in Mansfield. Mansfield's a team somehow we've never beat. I have no idea, how that is. We've definitely been in some very memorable games, but they were so long ago. Most people, didn't see them or don't remember. But I remember, an overtime loss at homecoming. We lose to them by 1. I remember the next year we come back here, and this is late 90s. We come back here, score a couple touchdowns apiece, and the difference was, point afters and extra points. And then we don't play them for like 20 years, and we get them back last year. And you already talked a little bit about how that went last year. So what do we expect this year? We're going to their place. What do we know about them, and what are we going to see when we get over there?
I think they only won one game last year, and that was us. They were in a couple games, a few of their conference games, and just couldn't pull them out. But I think they are an improved team this year. They're going to look a little bit different. I think their offense has changed just a little bit. They got a new offensive coordinator over there. Everybody knows it, Leighton Robinson.
Magazine guy.
Offensive coordinator over there. Got a big quarterback, 6'6", 6'7", big kid, probably 230, 240. Got a couple kids on the outside that can catch a little bit, and he throws it well. They throw it pretty effectively. Defensively, pretty fast defense. So we'll see how that goes.
All right. So here's how I feel. Regardless of how that game goes, as you just said, last year's game with Mansfield was super important for us. Mm-hmm. It sort of set the stage, kind of reminded us of the things you have to do to be successful. Yep. And kids got to be out there and playing football.
Right.
And so excited. It's football season. Finally, it's year 2 for you. Mm-hmm. I really appreciate you for making the time for this. I know you're busy. Thank you, Katie. I know you're busy. We're all busy, but anytime we get a chance to talk about kids, and I'm sure that's why you're doing this,
yep.
It's fun. So thanks so much. I appreciate you guys that are watching. I hope you enjoy this. If you have any ideas or anything you want to see, reach out to me and let me know. We'll see if that's something we can do. And shout out to Tatum for running the camera.
I had to throw a shot in there.